All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the CSRN podcast or our weekend review. Jody, what we're going to do first, as we do, we're going to play our intro video that allows everyone to like, share, and comment because our podcast is going to be lit tonight. We've got Julian Mack. We've got Anika Fields waiting in the wings, so hold tight. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live every Tuesday. We're streaming from my branch library. Soon we're going to be either doing some live studio that people can come in and check us out. And we're starting to dabble with filming it
And recording.
and then recording it, getting our editing game tight, and then post. All right. We want this product to be better and better, and we're learning more and more as we go along. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, and I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey 9 years ago. And for the next few months, we're going to be celebrating our 9-year anniversary. It's not something that we could just say happened on a day. It really happens every day. And they had the idea to have what they called Community Solidarity Day. And they brought me on a few weeks later to organize a couple of events. It turned into this, which turned into something else, which it is what it is. Hey, listen, what am I wearing today? Today I've got my gray cap on, got a black button-up shirt, kind of a fall winter type button-up shirt. Got my beads on today, got the chakra colors right here, just in case somebody wanted to know. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And what we're going to do today, a little something different. Right after Jody reads his mission statement, he's going to give us his grateful, what you're grateful for. We just came out of the month of gratitude, and we'll see if Anika had filled up her journal. All right. Yeah.
Here in the back room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything.
And then we're going to bring Julian on, because he's going to come back later on and talk about the inner revolution and try to keep him to at least 30 to 40 minutes tops. All right. I know 40. He's like, I know. I'll just, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, man, I think that's it for me. My intro, what I'm wearing. Jody, if you can reintroduce yourself to everyone, what are you wearing? And then we can get right to our mission statement, and then you're grateful.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. The treasurer of this wonderful organization here, as you heard Brother Washington say, 9 years. Every Tuesday, 6 to 7:30, sometimes twice, sometimes some protesting in between and everything like that. 9
That's
years.
right.
It's a very long time. It's a lifetime to some people. People don't even last jobs 9 years nowadays. But I'm the guy that kind of makes sure that where our money goes back into our community is not coming from blood money or sponsorships or other stuff like that, that we would have to agree to not be as vocal for everyone, which, again, we're an organization for everyone.
That's right.
If you really have a grievance or something like that that's dealing with injustice, we do our best to possibly be there. For those of you that's listening, because we know we have listeners, we know we come on at a time, Eastern Standard.
That's
that
right.
Is normally where you're driving or where you're in between doing something, maybe taking kids to a game or something like that, or just relaxing, getting off of work. There's still 9 to 5 workers out there. So we describe ourselves so that way our people also on Spotify, because they don't get our handsome faces.
No, they don't.
They don't get the awesome guests that we get to come on with. So we describe ourselves so that way you have a little context into what you are listening to. But I am a big black, brown-skinned bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and, well, I'm not covered in stickers, but I have stickers. But crystals and stones and all this that you see around my neck or hear me are people I've met in this life. It's not just stuff I went out and bought because I think it was nice and sparkly. No, these are my bet not stuff like that. The people that hang around,
right.
If I did something stupid or was out fighting and stuff, they would get ripped off, and then they wouldn't continue my journey with me. So these are reminders to everything that I've been through, people I've met and stuff like that. But I'm wearing an Arts Commission shirt right now. A friend of mine named Dan Denton, he got it for me when we did one of the Moment festivals. He's actually listed on one of the best authors for the Toledo paper city thing. If you do all that voting and stuff, I know I won't be bugging everybody again till I go back to Chicago, try and bring this trophy back home. But yeah, you have the best in Toledo, a whole bunch of people. Robin's in there.
I saw that.
So,
I just saw this paper that had 50 over 60. I said, all right. Hey, that's something for me. All right. This all right.
Oh man, you know what we call those?
What do we call those?
Nonprofits.
All right. Okay. All right. I feel attacked, but okay, go ahead.
Anyway, we always thank you for coming in and tuning in with us on what's going on in the community. Again, shameless plug and stuff. For next year, we are setting up our season. You know, you want to come in studio, you want to come online. We would love to have you as a guest to be able to open up, talk about what good you're doing in the community that may not or may go highlighted. It's something we've kind of reached that point to. We will protest in the street, but we don't have to, because now we can show you all of the stuff like we were doing Black Friday every year. Until we just said, you know what? I'm tired of telling them what they should already know. We're just going to go support Black businesses.
Okay.
We're going to support local businesses like that. So how do you get to this point? How do you meet all of these people and condense it down into something that's a podcast now?
Man, I guess we'd have to start with some with a mission statement.
Exactly. And then we also have
our guiding principles. That kind of gets us to stick together. All right.
It was kind of like building a house. It's not going to happen overnight. If you do get a house that's built overnight, you might not want to live there.
That's right.
But this is how we've continued to advance forward, and we'll continue to advance forward in future generations. As it'll probably be edited and stuff towards the times, but our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development. We discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right. And right before we go to our guiding principles, you know, we got Anika here. So we gotta do it.
You know, we should throw her in that with the gratitudes. She's quizzing us and stuff like that. So we all kind of get a little, you good with that? We got mini intro before the actual segment.
Okay, good. So we just finished the mission statement. If you can give us your grateful for today, I'll run the guiding principles and give my grateful. Then we'll bring in Julian and Anika.
I am grateful to have lived through everything that tried to defeat me, the trauma, the life, everything like that, and to be a conduit to listen to people, to know how to handle traumatic and tragic situations without telling somebody to go find somebody else. Specific kind of case, not too specific, but I'm always on call. People don't understand, like, yep, you see me smiling and walking around with my stick and putting stickers and hoodies on people.
Okay.
But my work deals with domestic violence, suicide prevention, mental health, trauma, overdose, and all of those things in between. So last night, I was laying it on down. I had been up since 5 a.m., went to work, did some stuff, shipped some package off. I got a call at 12:02, midnight.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine whose mother had passed in another state. Well, Michigan, state, that's really another state. But they didn't have no way there. So my buddy who does have a car, they said they would take him, but that's Michigan. It's midnight and stuff. You don't want to drive by yourself. So I was able just to, level my head and say, let's go. Got dressed. We got finally back at like 3:45, and I had to be up at 8 a.m. this morning to go back to work. So I am blessed to have been through a lot of that stuff to know how to deal with it and put whatever I'm going through to the side to know to help this person.
All right, that's what's up. And listen, we're going to get right into that. Was an awesome grateful. All right. Let's get into our guiding principles. This is what keeps us together, because we've got a lot of strong personalities doing this work. And it's amazing how everyone came together that could easily do this work by themselves. These are our CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing, or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
My grateful of the day is the people that I know. I think that I know a lot of people in different, stages of life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm not just stuck with my work people or my mosque people, and those are the only people that I know. So that's something that I'm grateful for. Are you ready to bring Julian and Anika, and they can do their gratefuls? Let's see. Okay, let's.
Pop quiz time.
Okay, all right. I'm sure. Okay, let's bring them on. Oh, we got three. Okay, all three of them. How did that happen?
Listening back there in the green room.
All right. Julian, hey, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Oh man.
Revolutionary greetings.
Revolutionary greetings. All right. Listen, we hardly ever get a sound check from out there. How are we sounding?
Sounding good.
Okay, great. We worked hard to get this sound together. All right. Anika, there was no one to show us. We had to just go on trial and error. And I think we really close to having it. All right.
Text professionals just making mistakes.
That's how it works sometimes.
All right. Anika, let's start with you. We just finished our mission statement and our guiding principles. And also, we just finished November, the month of gratitude. You introduced that to us, all right, and you gave us homework, all right, yeah, all right, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, all right.
Okay.
Sister, if you could give us something that you're grateful, something or someone that you're grateful for today, who would that be, or what would that be?
Something that I am grateful for today is mercy,
Oh,
because
wow.
I'm on this journey like everybody else. And for those of us who are fortunate to go to sleep and wake up, we get an opportunity to try to be better than what we were yesterday. So I'm grateful for that mercy because, I screw up, I stumble, I kind of teeter totter on the line sometimes, but, knowing that I can always go back and try to do better is something that I am really grateful for. I'd have been done. I'd have been over. If it was 3 strikes and you're out, I'd have been done.
Oh, absolutely. I think except for Jody, I think all of us would have been out. All right. And hang on, because what we're going to do right after Julian gives his grateful for today, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with the empowerment toolbox and hear about journaling and the effect that it had on you and others. And then we'll take a break and bring Julian back. He's going to talk about the inner revolutionary. Wow. Okay. All right. I wish I'd thought of that, but all right, it is what it is. Let's bring Julian up. Hey, Julian, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, brother Washington?
Oh, man.
What's up, Jody? What's up, Anika? Revolutionary greetings to you all. It's a pleasure to see everybody's face.
Yeah, this is our first time ever doing 3. We've done that before? Oh, okay. All right.
But, it's the first time the 3 of us.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what I was talking about, Jody. Okay, all right. Make me look smart. All right. Julian, I know we're going to get into the inner revolutionary later on, but what do you think about that question? If you can name something or someone that you're grateful for, what would that be and why?
Wow, that's a deep question, and I'm going to take it from kind of a large perspective today, but in looking at global events and how they affect us, Rome wasn't built in a day, and Rome didn't fall in a day, and we're living in an era where the modern day Rome is falling. And the oligarchic power is being returned back to the source, to its people. And what an honor, what a privilege to be in the midst of this beautiful struggle as we transfer that power back to the people, and to be one of those people that live in this era is a wonderful thing. So I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for love, and I'm grateful for the transfer of power.
All right. Wow. Well, okay. I think I should be snapping my fingers or something after that. Brother, that's real spill that you're saying. That's true. And I'm glad that we're here for it. Hey, Jody, let's take a short break. We're going to come back with Anika Fields and the Empowerment Toolbox. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. Sorry, they put you in right when you were sitting down, man. Our tech team is the worst. All right, where's Ace when we need him? Hey, listen, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend in review, and that short clip was Voces Latinos, as our brother Tony Rios Jr. and that television show. They've been one of those that have helped us with a lot of our technical stuff that we didn't know. So we welcome Tony back anytime. Hey, let's bring up Latina.
I hear her response to this.
No. I'm thinking about Tony Rios' significant other. I think her name was Latina. Okay. All right. Let's bring up my sister Anika Fields with the Empowerment Toolbox. Anika, we're gonna just edit that part on out. Let's bring up Latina.
What's did somebody put in the Kool-Aid or punch today? I don't know what's going on.
I know. How you feeling today, Anika?
I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling really good. Couple things. I want to say happy 9 years to CSRN and 999 more plus to go.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna have to start working out to live that long. I'll start today.
Yep. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the 30 days of gratitude journaling process. Even if you just participated by just writing things down, thinking of those things or identifying those things, I really am hopeful that it helps you to be able to look at the bright side of things. It helps you to identify and focus on some of the things that you're grateful for. So I want to thank everybody who participated in it. And
all right.
Yes, so I have receipts because I heard you guys when I was in the green room. And yes, I have been working on my 30 days of gratitude.
That's right.
However, like everybody else, there may have been a few days or so where I just didn't get to it because I was being human, and that's okay. That's okay. The main goal is to establish or help foster the habit of focusing on things that are gratitude. So whatever form that comes, for whomever can use it, that is fantastic. So, yep. Now, I talked a little bit about what I was grateful for today, and that was mercy. But I'm also grateful for something else as well I'd like to share, which
Okay.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share with others things and techniques and strategies to help empower them. So things to put in their toolbox.
That's
And
great.
being that gratitude, the practice of gratitude and writing it down was one for me. I'm really grateful to have shared that. I heard a few stories about it, and they're really encouraging. So they encourage me too. So thank you again for that. And then for the absolutely, Julian, gratitude determines your latitude is such a simple yet challenging at the same time concept, because we can get just stuck in the rut of you know, day-to-day life, functioning in survival mode, and things that just don't serve us. So all right. Thank you guys. You guys have some awesome things that you had to offer as well in terms of what you're grateful for. So it was great to hear that. And
I
then,
wanted to, yeah, I wanted to start. What was it that introduced you to this concept of gratitude in journaling? I know that's what we're going to talk about today, but I always like to ask people, you know, that origin story for those that are watching this, maybe watching this for the first time, and maybe streaming it later. What was it that got you interested in the journaling and in gratitude altogether?
well, the short answer to that question is after experiencing some pretty tumultuous hate crimes, racial intolerance in my neighborhood, as I was trying to take care of everybody else and make sure, you know, the folks in my household, the folks that were supporting
Yeah.
me, okay, I realized I had forgotten about myself, and I realized that I needed to identify a tool that would help me with coping to process this, because, you know, I'm trained to help others. However, I wasn't taking the time to focus and help myself identify
That's
this
right.
is a trauma for me as well. So I have an acquaintance that was very much, pardon me, a journaler. She went through a tragedy, and as I saw her post and I would watch her and follow her, I thought, you know, okay, let me look into this. So did a little bit of research, found a lot of great information, um, evidence-based information that talked about the benefits of journaling on our health, on our mood. So I decided, hey, what the heck? I'll give it a try. So what I did was challenge myself to focus on gratitude and to actually write down 3 things per day that I was grateful for. And what was pretty amazing for me is that at the end of those 30 days, I noticed the difference. So it was pretty exciting to see that. I was able to focus more on positive things. I was able to start the process of shifting my mindset from the negativity bias that we all have and we all live around. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I just heard about this, so I haven't gotten a chance to validate it at all or verify it. But I was shown that Toledo ranked number 11 in the most depressed cities in the state. Did you guys hear anything about that, or did you see anything about that?
Well,
everybody has a list for something.
Yeah, and plus I live here, so I'm glad y'all got the memo. I'm glad you guys finally got the memo.
Yeah. So that makes it all the more reason for us to be able to focus on something, because I was born and raised here, so I see it. But being that I was functioning through it,
That's right.
It was normal to me. So until I started stepping out and seeing things and learning new tools and techniques and ways of being, I really didn't realize for a period of time because I was just used to functioning. You just move through. But it does make a lot of sense if those stats are valid. It does. I can see that.
That's right.
So yeah, it was through that experience that I started because I heard of journaling before, but it was never something I thought I would really be into. I didn't think I had
Right.
time, and not something that I was really interested in. And plus, I didn't want to write down everything because in my mind, somebody was gonna come get me if they saw what I was writing down. so I took a different.
That's funny, but it's true. But yeah, that's funny, but it's true. All right.
I took a different perspective. Jody, that just really tickled you, didn't it?
Yes.
I just.
That's the thing. Some people will come get you. Hopefully, it's the right ones, though.
That's right. I love it.
That was a twist that I wasn't expecting. All right.
I love it, but see, I've learned to just let Jody be. You never know what to expect, but it's always something grateful that kind of leads to an epiphany somewhere down the line. So just let the artist be.
He does not disappoint.
And let them continue to inspire us. But yes, I'm glad that you got a chuckle out of that because I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking it or believing that.
That's right.
No, hey, it is what it is. I like to say we're all family. But that's kind of the start of the journey for journaling for me. And it's something that I pass down to my children and something that I realized that actually probably a decade and a half ago, I did it with my daughters. We just wrote notebooks back and forth to each other.
Okay.
And so that was very interesting when we thought about that. And I did it with my son because although he's 10 right now, he was back 7, 8 during COVID. He and I almost didn't survive COVID, so we had to employ some sort of strategy.
That's funny.
Form of communication, better passing.
Yes, because he was focused on firing me from teaching math anywhere in the United States. He fired me 10 times, and I was trying to get through the school year with all the uncertainty and all the transitions and everything that he and I co-developed. It really helped because it gave me a basis and a basis for a level of understanding of some things that you just don't always think about as an adult that are important to your kids. And it empowers your child because it helps them to feel and be heard as well as be understood. And it helps them to be able to get those things out that trouble them and deal with them in a healthy way.
Before you go, I wanted to ask you this. How did journaling turn into a book? How did that happen? Because you could have easily just journaled. So how did that turn into an actual product?
So that's a great question. And my love of sharing resources that empower others is what led to me sharing our experience and creating these journals. Gave me a little bit of a dabble into the creative side and just being able to do something that I wanted to share with other people because it made an impact in our lives. So we wanted to be able to share that with others. And it was a really fun process, creating them, designing them, seeing them go on Amazon and doing workshops around the area. It was pretty exciting, but the best part of it is when I hear from folks that share stories about the impact of connecting with their children or the impact of, focusing on themselves and breaking down this word we throw around, self-care, breaking it down.
Yeah, we do.
What does that mean? So, yeah.
All right. Julian had also wrote something in the chat, and he had talked about journaling being a gift, and he also added another twist to it to consider our ancestors who risked life and limb to write. And he talked about writing one's gratitudes list makes a difference. And I wanted to ask you this: has your family noticed the difference in you? And we need to check with them before we ask her that. All right.
Well, we always have to prepare Asa before we can't bring Asa on live just out of the cut because he's my kid,
man.
so you never know what might come out of his mouth. But
That's what's up.
I would like to think so. I would like to think so. Maybe we'll invite one of them on at some point in the future. But I'm sure they have observed me in terms of being a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just the encouragement I get from them or the encouragement that I can both get from them, give to them in terms of our communications. I'm checking in with my daughters. I have 4 daughters and I have 1 son, and I'm checking in with them to see if they're writing and how's their writing going. And we kind of it's a family project because each of my daughters were writing something on a specific topic that we want to journal about. And so there's more journals to come. And it's just, I would like to think so, but I'd like to answer that too. But yeah, we're not bringing Asa on live without prepping.
Man, we were really hoping for that. That's the only way we're going to. That's the only way we're going to increase our viewership. I'll tell you, Asa's going to be on. All right.
With Asa, he really does. When he's asked about it, he has some really nice comments about it and kind of gives a couple illustrations from time to time. So maybe we'll see if we can offer that again. One more thing I wanted to say is you mentioned a comment that Julian made, and Julian, we're on the same wavelength with that. I was actually processing that last night, and I was thinking, it is a gift to be able to journal and referencing our ancestors. If we think about it, journaling is not only a method to help us cope and to help us organize our thoughts and focus, but journaling is a way that we can pass down information to the next generations of our family and friends so they understand a little bit better what is going on, what our frame of mind was or is, what was happening. And, it gives them an opportunity to kind of go to your writings. And it's like a neat keepsake and memento, but also helps them celebrate and understand your life experience by actually going back to read that. So I would love one of these journals that I have going. I would love my kids to be able to pass that down to their grandchildren so that they can kind of understand my experience, understand things, because I speak for myself, but I know there are other people that there's a lot that happened in those generations. And because our ancestors didn't have a way to record it or weren't able to read or were able to write or didn't have the skill set to do it.
Or the language was raised.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. And like I said, I was thinking about that. It would be something that's pretty amazing because that's something that would help build in our future generations because we didn't always have that. So we have that tremendous void where we have questions that are unanswered. We don't know certain things because. Go ahead.
Or I was going to say that you're so right, man. Not next week. I don't know if we can prepare.
2 weeks left. 2 more shows for the end of the year.
All right, and maybe we might see Asa next time.
Maybe.
I also want to add in there as an author and a whole bunch of books and stuff. Journaling, yes, that is. I don't write poetry. This is why also on my brands and the stuff you see is this little thing that looks like a baseball, and it says "My words only." because that's what my poetry is. It's my perspective based upon knowledge I've gained. I'm not using or remixing somebody else's words to try and look like something else. And like you were saying that you weren't able to do it all in this in the journal of all 30 days, but that's okay. I started out with, in April, writers, authors, poets and stuff, we have something called 30 days of writing. And every day we're supposed to write out something or a short poem. I did that 5 years until I actually did it every day, until I had 30. So if you didn't get all 30 this month, it took me 5 years to actually go through and get
amazing.
30. I think 1 year I only had like 13 because of my life and stuff like that. So it's an example of giving yourself a goal to work forward to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Anika, we thank you for being here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Julian because we're going to have to give him a little bit.
5.5 minutes.
Hey, all right. What we went down from 40 to 50 minutes to 5 minutes. Okay, all right, but somewhere in between. We thank you so much, Anika, and we will see you in 2 weeks. All right.
2 weeks.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me again. Have a great week. I'm grateful for each of you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back. That wasn't as smooth as they said that it was going to be. They said we were going to go from commercial and just gradually come in. All right, well, it is what it is. This is CSRN Podcast, a weekend review. We thank our sister Anika Fields in the Empowerment Toolbox. We want to start something new today, and maybe we'll have Julian on week on, week off, or 3 weeks on and 5 weeks off, however he can get him to work for us. Let's bring him in. This is the Inner Revolutionary. Hey, what's going on, Julian? What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? I'm still trying to get my lighting right, but I think I got it.
Yeah, you good.
Just to briefly introduce myself, my name is Julian Mack, he, him. My pronouns, I'm a revolutionary warrior of love and light. I'm a big man with a big hat, with a feather in my cap as a salute to my indigenous ancestors of the Cherokee and Blackfoot Nation. I'm wearing as we have Kwanzaa approaching, I intentionally, made sure I wore the red, black, and green today, right? And I'm wearing some nice little sunglasses as well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we wanted to start something new. You had inboxes and said, hey, look, I got this idea. And of course, my eyes always roll whenever I'm texting, all right, or direct messaging with Julian. He said, look, I got this idea about the inner revolutionary. I've never heard those two terms together. Either we strong or you're not, but you can be both. All right. What is that? How did you come up with that term, and why is it so important to you?
Yeah, so as one who has labored in this for now 9 years, right? And even really beyond that, it takes a toll, right? We put our bodies on the line. Oftentimes, that's the most visible aspect of our activism. That's the most visible aspect of how we are trying to transform the world we live in into revolution. But what one may not see is the mind, the thoughts that we put on the line. What one might see is the soul, the condition of our spirit that we put on the line, and the sacrifice. It's no secret, right? You know that I've had my ups and downs with my relationship with my mental health. Right, that's why I'm not in studio today, right? But and I talk about it in a laughing way because I'm in a place where I can laugh at it today, right? And so at the end of the day, as some of the things that I've gone through, I've realized, what can I really control? What do I have power over? Right? Huey P. Newton said, he defined power as the ability to be able to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. I'll say that again. Huey P. Newton defined power as the ability to be able to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. And in a very real way, we are trying to transform this world to have more power to the people. But what about the soul? What about the mind? Right? What is the place and role of our inward being, right? In this revolutionary work, as we all try to get free, right? Many of us are bound by the mental cages of capitalism, right? That we're stuck in oftentimes, right? And we talk, and when we have conversations about financial freedom, that comes up. So we are in control of ourselves, right? In a very real way. This is a very large world. This is a very large universe. But me and myself, and you and your own self, you are your own universe, right? And so when we consider healing and healing work, what does it look like to be able to heal oneself? So one will hear the term, I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself. I'm taking time for myself. What does that even mean? And I just want to just pause for a second. Think, what does it mean to work on oneself? Oftentimes when we get in these spaces, and it's taken a lot of work on myself for me to realize that there is a difference in working on personality versus working on character. I'll say it again. There's a difference in working on personality versus working on character. See, oftentimes when we work on oneself, or we take time out for ourselves, we want it to look right. Like, look, look, that time I took out for myself worked. See, I got the car. See, I got the this, I got the that. And while outer aspects of us can signify something inward, oftentimes in this capitalistic society that we live in, I'm discovering that we got the game all wrong, right? And oftentimes we work outward to inner as opposed to inner to outer, right? So I'll quote from the movie Pulp Fiction, right, where the wolf said, just because you are a character does not mean that you have character. when one describes me as a character, they may talk about my smile, my sense of humor, my temperament, things like that. But my character is who is revealed during hard times, right? During difficult times. How well can I keep true to my own moral system? What is my own moral system? And what are the principles that I live by? And how close am I sticking my day-to-day actions to those principles? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary individuals, that is one's character. And that is not for the faint of heart, right? That type of work really requires a certain level of humility, but that goes far further than the paint job of personality work, right? Maybe doing a little anger management work. Why don't I switch up my tone? Why don't I? The character of an individual goes much further. So as we transform this world, let it be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Let it be transformed by the renewing of our thoughts. Remember, we all have the power to change our own mind. And as the mind goes, the body follows. So as we look at the world that we want to see, and the relationships that we want to see, and the interactions that we want to see, understand that all starts with.
Think about this as something that you want to share with others.
My personal experience with it, right? Like people I love that are taking time out for the time that I've taken out to work on healing my own self and to heal my own pain, and other people that I love that are really putting effort into working on their self, right? And then, you know, as I've gone through myself, I think I've made further progress than I actually have. Well, it's because it was personality, not character. My relationship and view with the way that I look at the world can still be that of a revolutionary, but perhaps the lens can change in the way that I operate within it, right? And so understanding that really just considering freedom from the bondage of self, freedom from my own depressive, dark ideas, right? That sometimes can cause one to want to devalue their own self. Let's just talk candidly here, right? The behavior that some of us participate in, right, is not one of a self flourish, right? I can say Black Lives Matter on a corner, and then, right, I can stick poison in my body.
Okay.
There's that hypocrisy. Right. And then I will, you know, then one can also talk about the hypocrisy of democracy. Well, then, you know, I may want the hypocrisy of this democracy to change. Perhaps, just perhaps, I should start with myself. Like, you know, and try to build out that consistency there. Right. Because again, and I will stress this probably every time I come on here, there's a law of the universe. To every action, there is an equal or greater reaction. I had always thought that just meant outer works, but that also means inner work. The universe has no choice but to react to changes in perceptions that I make within myself. Right. And
beautiful.
So I just, you know, look, this is not to, it's not I want to be clear with this. It's not an either or. Right. True maturity is not black and white thinking. It's non-dualistic contemplative thinking, right? So it's not an either or, it's a both and, right?
Oh,
so we
right.
lift as we climb, right? As I continue to try to tear down the systemic structures, right, that continue to oppress us on the outside, I also build up, right, my internal structures, my internal infrastructure, right, so that I can carry more, so that I can do more, so that I can heal more.
All right, thank you.
So that we can make it to our promised land.
All right. Hey, listen, we're at 7:00. We're going to get through some of our solutions and shout outs. We're going to get into our loose ends, and then we need to do our 5 minutes of heat and be out of here. What I want to do right now, I want to just transition to our final call. Commercial is 33 seconds. We're going to come back. Got a couple of things that's happening in the final call newspaper, and we'll get the rest of it in. This is CSRN Podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, and scrolling under the bottom of the screen is our Kwanzaa word of the day. And our word of the day is unity. And that's to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, and nation and race. And that's really important as we get ready for Kwanzaa 22, 23, 24. And we're going to be having this at the Frederick Douglass Center. So don't mind the year, but the time and place is just to save. So join us, CSRN. We'll have a table. We're also going to be doing some spoken word and some other stuff too. One of the things I didn't mention last week was the passing of Minister Farrakhan's oldest son, Joshua. He was 58. And if you've ever seen the Final Call newspaper or heard a lecture of Minister Farrakhan on a cassette, that's because Joshua came up with the way back in the day to high-speed duplicate the tapes while you're at the event so that you could walk away with the speech that Minister Farrakhan had just made. And also he was instrumental in so many things that the Nation of Islam is about. You may not have seen him on video. You may not see him as you see others, but he was an intricate part of our work, and his work still stands true today. I also wanted to bring up this week's edition of the Final Call. It says Solidarity and Survival, where the Final Call examines the historical parallels and intertwined struggles of Blacks in America with the Palestinian people of freedom, justice, and equality. You know, we say same struggle, same fight. And some people have said, well, has the Nation of Islam come out with a official statement? Not yet on that. I think that our works speaks for itself, but Minister Farrakhan is coming out with a statement, and when we get that, we'll get it right to you. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, I'm trying to bring up all this stuff, Jody, and get out of here.
I got something real quick. It'd be remiss if we did not also celebrate the life and point out the death of one Fred Hampton, as well as the Panther Mark Clark, who were both killed by the FBI on December 4th of 1970. Right, and just to put some context.
Thank you, brother.
1969. But just to put some context to it, as Hope said, that was the same day. You know, Jay-Z was born on the same day, and who is now a billionaire, right? And we have to understand the shift that has made for a generation, right? And embracing capitalism, right? And how Fred Hampton's life was intentionally snuffed out, right? During the same time is not ironically, right? As we look at these timelines, as one of the greatest Black capitalists of our era was born, right? And so I think it's just really important just to pause and consider what those billions of dollars can do for our community. Just to put that in context, again, $1 million, or 1 million seconds is about 9 days, whereas 1 billion seconds is about 34 years, right? So when we look at that in dollar formation and in dollar forms, that's why it is so important for us to have power to the people, right? Billionaires won't save us. Black capitalism won't save us. Only the power of the people, with us united, emoji, together, can save us.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Also want to bring up for anyone that's still wanted to know more information about the Nation of Islam's lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League and the Simon Wiesenthal Center. On October 16, 2023, which was the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam sued the ADL, its CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, and the Simon Wiesenthal Center and Rabbi Abraham Cooper in the federal court of the Southern District of New York for the First Amendment violations and for defamation. This lawsuit is for $4.8 billion, and the importance of this case extends far beyond the named plaintiffs, but it encompasses every citizen of America who values freedom of speech, the freedom to exercise his or her religion, and the freedom to associate with persons of like interest. If you want to know more and see the actual complaint and read all of the articles, family, we put this together so supreme, so superb. Just scan the QRC code. Is it QRC code? Yeah, the QR code.
QR code, yeah.
All right, scan the QR code and get all the documents. Family, this is for our freedom. This is probably the most sensitive battle that we've ever been in. But it's that time that shift is happening regarding telling the truth and laying it all on the table. Jody, those were my two things that I wanted to mention for this week. It is 7:10. Do you have any loose ends before we get to 5 minutes of heat?
Again, it's the end of the year, so people are doing Christmas parties and
That's
holiday
right.
get-togethers and all that good stuff. For me, myself, again, my season ended in October, so I'm just enjoying the year.
That's what's up.
Stuff, going to what I can, not going somewhere to show up and not fully be there. I did that a lot.
Okay.
Through my trauma and everything else, if I just get out the house, be around people, it's gonna get better. It doesn't work like that. So you could be somewhere completely there physically, but nowhere there mentally. And then that's why I take breaks. That's why I know, hey, I made all of the money that I wanted to make. I'm not gonna be greedy. I sold all the stuff I wanted to. There's no point in me doing, hey, give me some more.
Okay.
I don't need some more. Right now, I need some more of me. So that's what I'm doing right now. If anybody's been asking like, hey, what you doing? And come to me. But there are some things going on. A friend of mine who had a funeral, he passed not too long ago. Shout out to your loud boy or Andre Alvarez. Might have messed his name up, but we've known each other for over a decade.
That's
before
awesome.
I became an artist and stuff. And everything, and he just recently passed. They're having a Long Live Loud Boy benefit at Venue 18. So if you know him, if he's been a part of your life, try and make sure you can show up there. There's the Jingle Jam. I believe that's Tracy. He normally does the stuff.
Okay, Tracy.
And everything. 1717 Adams. That's this Friday. We appreciate you. RJ Ritter Event Hall. They're doing something Friday. There is also coming up, because it's not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and we're going to get a proper flyer because the date just changed, and we are going to be doing some type of sponsorship, being in our a community organization. We don't have super deep pockets, but we are going to make some type of donation to the Duncan for Donations. This is number. You just had it up there.
Yeah, they were. I told them this.
But again, I know the date has been changed. It's next Sunday. So the 17th, I'll be there. You know, there'll be, I think they were doing a entrepreneur event. So if you have a business or something like that, those will be the teams. This is number 14.
Right.
14. Again, organization that's not a nonprofit, but it was organized by local Toledo young men that said they wanted to do more in the urban communities. They hold a charity basketball game every single year. Again, charity basketball game completely out the community. So this year is going to be at Bowser. Hopefully you can make it. I'll be there as usual. Shout out to Tracy and Dave and Charlie and Nook and everybody that is involved. I can't remember all your names. You know, we brothers, we're going to see each other.
That's right.
When we get there. So hopefully you can show up to that. And I think.
And if you want, just you can see the email address, Duncan, 4 donations@gmail.com. We emailed them. They got right back with us and told, let us know what their needs were. And we're going to try to go into the community and shake some folk down so that we can get some donations. This is a worthy cause. They've done it for, is that 14 years?
14 years.
They've done it for 14 years.
I applaud their consistency, like the consistency of this event, right? And it's truly inspiring.
Absolutely.
Inspiring.
Yep. So yeah, again, if you could donate to, go back, watch it. It'll be on our page too.
That's right.
So if you're able to give anything, a toy, because that's how this works. You don't always have to be a sponsor on a flyer. You can come, bring a toy. Let the kids know that you actually care.
That's
Go
right.
be a free game put on by the community that actually goes back to the community, not some nonprofit or whatever. Never mind.
All right. Hey, listen, we really need to get to 5 minutes of heat. Did you want to get right into it, or did you want to?
You can give me my good old intro, and I got actually a piece that was from that show. Shout out Anika when she goes back and watches this and stuff like that. I finally got to title a piece called "Heal." So, and I've done it. I think it was a couple weeks ago. But I'll do it again. So, yeah, that was my November. I haven't done nothing for December yet, but you know, stuff. So,
what?
How do we get to 5 minutes?
I'm like, what? What do you want? Oh, you know what? This year we were celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And when we started this CSRN thing, we wanted to find a new way to end the meetings without having a gavel, on the table. I think most of us that have been through the prison industrial complex, the last thing I want to see is a gavel at the end of my meeting.
Right.
So we used creative expression. If someone had a rap, if someone had a dance or anything to close us out on a good note. And Jody has been our resident spoken word artist. I don't know is that okay to say spoken word?
If y'all want me to Tootsie Roll, Jody, if you don't got anything, and if you want me to Tootsie Roll today, I can. I'm prepared. I'm ready.
So it's the undefeated champ, 9 years running.
That's right.
The voice of some people call me.
All right. So what do you have for us today? And we're really grateful that Julian talked about being consistent. We're grateful for you and your consistency and sharing your gift freely. What do you have for us today?
So this piece is called Heal. Again, as I'm going into writing book 17, the differences between 1 year in the mirror and this next book, which I can't tell you the title of because that would be ruining it. But book number 17 is coming out, is a very big contrast. That was me taking all of that stuff, bringing it to the forward. And now this is me, I guess, more of who I am. Relationships and stuff like that, and trying to figure out, because everybody's now got a thing on relationships, even though most people are single.
Yeah.
Just like people that own businesses that try and tell you what to do with yours.
That's right.
So this is my version of, I guess, what came out of me November 22nd at 11:37 in the morning. Let's begin peace. Maybe I haven't found my partner because I keep wasting energy on those that don't deserve me, focusing on their potential versus their actual actions, trying to shove jagged pieces into holes they don't belong, because somewhere, deep down inside, I feel empty too, because I haven't found the piece that fits without damage, creating larger gaps and wounds in my own tapestry of life, because I got good at sewing the pieces back together myself. So I don't notice the scars they leave behind, accepting that this is who I am. When the outside screams, I might be damaged beyond repair, and the piece that was supposed to fit in that spot is waiting on me to heal so I don't damage them too. In peace.
All right. And as always, we snap our fingers. I want to thank everyone for a dynamic podcast, from Anika Fields and the Empowerment Toolbox to Julian Mack and the Inner Revolutionary. Everybody, great job today. Great job today. You know, and as always, all lives can't matter until
Black
lives matter. And Black lives can't matter
until
all
Black
Black lives matter.
matter.
Justice
or
or
else.
else. Free Palestine, baby.